From the early days of the automobile, when cars were little more than horseless carriages, to the sleek, aerodynamic designs of modern vehicles, automotive design has come a long way. Look at the Hyundai Verna, for instance, from its first generation design language back in 2006, some 17 years ago. And life has taken a full circle. And in its sixth generation, the Hyundai Verna looks like this. It has been touted as a ferocious and futuristic looking car. When I first saw it in pictures, I was rubbing my eyes in disbelief. When I saw it in flesh, I'm still rubbing my eyes in disbelief, but in the beautiful way. This is a beautifully sculpted car. Look at it from any angle. And the design of the new Verna continues its global line of products, with the front marking the very familiar trapezoid-shaped parametric grille, which also houses sensors for ADAS tech. The split LED headlamps have been tastefully housed within the grilles. The full-width light bar spanning across the bonnet definitely gives it a bit of a futuristic appeal. On the sides, the sharp cuts and creases along with the coupe-like rear end makes it more like sporty and appealing. Just like on the front, Verna also gets a full-width LED light bar at the rear. It gets a 16-inch alloy wheel in the top variant and even comes with red calipers in the turbo variant, and comes with a massive boot of 528 liters, enough to swallow a lot of your luggage. We have done a detailed design and an interior walk around, and for that you can click on the pop-up link right now, and let's move on. Is it really radical and futuristic design, or is it really ferocious to drive? Let's just find out. And surprisingly, it's a fun car to drive, even with this, the non-turbo variant. And this is a global warming at its best, by the way. You can see right now it's all gloomy condition. It's raining cats and dog and pouring like hammer. Now this one is the 1.5 liter MPI petrol 6-speed, producing about 113.4 brake horsepower and 143.8 Newton of torque, which are not great figures for enthusiasts. But for that, you have the turbo variant. Now talking about this specifically, I am so impressed. You can see right now, the moment I put some acceleration, it just ready to go. This is such a nice feeling because A, this is a sedan, which means the driving pleasure is anyways there. The steering is very nice to hold. It's a very connected car. Right now I can feel that wherever I'm taking the steering input, the car is just following its tail right to the word T, because this is so precise, which is such a nice thing, because all these things makes up for the driving experience. So far, yes, when you put hard, it doesn't really touch the red line RPM very fast, which is not going to be the case. But if you go gently up, then this is a nice car. It picks up the acceleration at its own pace in a very linear fashion, but good, controlled, and something which you can enjoy while you're driving. I really am looking forward to drive the turbo variant, because that's going to be the fun one. But for a day-to-day living, I think this one is a great one to move around. Right now, we've just crossed the new toll, which is the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful road which is coming up. The speed limit here is 120, which means we can drive at 120 legally. And just in case you're wondering, this beautiful expressway is yet to be opened. Delhi-Mumbai Express Corridor. This is the first leg, and I can tell you that this one looks absolutely driver's delight. The design is actually very well sculpted. I have to give it to the Hyundai designers. You might not like it, I agree with you. You might not like it when you see it in the picture, when you see in the video, but the moment your naked eyes will meet the design, it will grow on you, I can bet you on that. It has all the features to make you feel premium in a sedan which is at a very aggressive price point, and the road noise when it's not raining is very decent. There's no absolute very little to no road noise. For this class of cars, I'm very impressed with the overall packaging of the whole thing. 64 ambient lights, which is going to make this car look like a lounge when in the night. There are lights I can see on the door panels, which we'll show you when we pull over. And overall, the trim in front is also good looking. I would be happy if the plastic was of little better quality, if the plastic around the MID was less of plastic, because this gives that feeling of a little bit of inexpensiveness, but that means picking things. The interface is very fluid, it's very, very smooth. There are Bose speakers which makes it a little more, and Bose is right on your face shouting, so your friends when they are sitting, they will see the Bose speakers badging, and you guys can have a great blasting music. It is a very interesting car to be also chauffeured around. For that, I have to hop back. And as you can see, it's a very comfortable car to be chauffeured around, thanks to its increased wheelbase of 2670 mm. It's gone up by 70 mm from the earlier Verna, which has liberated more leg room. It's a very, very airy cabin. Only problem is that the sunroof is not coming all the way here. It's not going to be the case in most of the sedans because of a lot of factors, especially in this category. Interesting trivia, there is a shade in the rear windshield. I would have really appreciated if the Hyundai guys would have given it here also. It wouldn't have costed much. This would have been a complete package itself. The side rest, armrest is perfect. You have two coffee puck holders. You have two C-type charging for your devices. Something to slide here. Overall, Bose speakers, keep the phone here. This is a very comfortable space to spend time. But you know what? I like to be there. Wow, and I have landed myself in the 1.5 litre turbo petrol manual transmission, which means that this car is meant for the enthusiast in you and me and for everybody. There's also a 7-speed DCT dual clutch transmission, which returns better fuel efficiency, but right now who cares about fuel efficiency, because all we want to do is drive hard, and this one, ladies and gentlemen, drives very hard. 156 brake horsepower, 156 point something brake horsepower, and 253 Nm of torque. And all I can say, these power figures with this weight of the car and the whole driving mechanism makes it a very, very pleasurable car. I mean, the gear shifts are very smooth, no complaints about it. And apart from being the gear shifts, it also has a very nice torque coming out in a very linear manner, because the weight of the car is not that much, which means the weight to power ratio is, I think, in a very good space right now. I would love to drive the DCT, because DCT is also fun, but that I guess is for another day. I have to enjoy the manual transition, because a manual car in any make, any variant is always going to be more fun than the automatic variant. And along with the driving pleasure, this also has this red stitching, black leather. This only comes in turbo, which makes it more sporty. It reminds you that you're sitting behind the steering wheel of a sporty car, which will rev you to pull this harder. And in this Verna is always eager to also lunge forward. You know, this is always telling me to push it harder and have fun with it. So in terms of internal cladding, everything is completely meant from that enthusiastic point of view. It's of course going to be more expensive, which is not going to be sold so often, so much as compared to the non-turbo variant. And this is going to be bought by people like you who are really going to buy this for its driving pleasure. And for that, I will give it maybe 9 on 10. Why am I cutting one mark? Well, it's not right to give 10 on 10 to anything, right? Now let me give you guys a pro tip of how to identify a turbo from a non-turbo. First up, all black upholstery with these red stitches, looks ferocious from inside. Rear disc brakes, yes. Then you have front red calipers. Fourth, electronic parking brake. And of course, fifth and the most difficult is the badging, 1.5 litre turbo. Yes, this is how you identify a turbo from a non-turbo, and it is really a fun car to drive. Let me just put things together and get the other car and summarize the whole video for you. Hyundai Verna in 2023 has made the mid-large size sedan segment very exciting. It's fun to drive. I'm not sure if it's ferocious. It's radical in design. Chances are the more of you will love it and the less of you will hate it. Whatever it is, please drop on the comments below. Would love to know your thoughts on the same. Now, it is got everything packed in the right proportions in terms of features. I think it's pretty much ticks in everything that you can expect from a car of this segment. It is a really peppy car to drive, in all said and done. It's really a car which can zip around the city and make you feel very comfortable. What it doesn't have is, doesn't have fog lamps. Maybe the side window shades would have been very nicer, and these things makes a difference at particular day and time of the year. It is a car which is really made this segment very exciting. It's got very good boot space. It has got the tech. In terms of tech, it has 8 Bose speakers, and that you can show off to your friends when you're sitting around, because the sound quality is actually quite good. In this segment, you also have the 2023 facelift Honda City. You also have Volkswagen Virtus. You also have Skoda Slavia. All these are cars which have been there and are great cars. And before you make your buying decision in this segment, you have to take a test drive of this Verna 2023 and decide which one really floats the boat. For me, it definitely makes a very strong case for itself, pushes the design element in this segment to another level. I would also say that it raises the bar, and for that, it definitely deserves all your attention, strong attention, I would say.